Hi everybody, thank you for watching and welcome to my channel. I was saying that I was going to do a video on how to survive your first 6 months or your probationary period. Mine was 6 months, some are longer. It just depends on your airline and what I did to survive and stuff like that. Because your first 6 months, almost your first year, is your hardest as a flight attendant. So we're just going to talk about that. I had a few questions and stuff, so we'll discuss those as well, like maintaining family and all that. All right, the first question was, how did I make it through probationary period? I completely relocated to my base, and that helped a lot considering that I didn't have to worry about getting back and forth in and out of my base and where I lived originally. Um, it is very hard to commute in the summer, and then sometimes you can be bummed, sometimes flights are oversold. So I started in the summer, which was the hardest time to try to non-rev, which is what you have to do as a commuter. And I just really don't recommend it to anyone who is really trying to pursue this career wholeheartedly, because it's really, really hard to commute on reserve your first 6 months. It's very hard. You have very, very little seniority. Sometimes, if you're commuting from a major area, flights are full, and then to get on a jump seat, which is a seat we can sit on, which is one of the employee seats, what we sit on whenever we're working. If they're available, it goes by seniority. So if you're the most junior and it's four of you guys trying to commute to make it to work, you'll get bumped, and you don't want to get caught out of base. That is grounds for termination. So that is my number one recommendation, is either already be settled in the area that you are based at, or be willing to move just until you get your feet grounded into what your scheduling is going to be like, because scheduling is very weird. There are times that I'll be on call for 6 days and won't get called out until day 6. So you have to be okay with that. You have to be okay with being in a city that you are not familiar with. That's why I decided to move, so I can get familiar with this place. And then I didn't want to pay for, you can pay for a crash pad or you can pay for a hotel. With a crash pad, you do live with other flight attendants. With a hotel, it's a lot more expensive and you have more bills to another bill you have to take care of. So my best recommendation is, if you can move, move for however long it takes to get you situated. And then if there's a base closer to you, put in a request to transfer to that base closer to the city that you want to live in. So that's my biggest recommendation during your probationary period. 2 is have a support system. You will not make it without a support system. There are times where I am in between a check and I'm like, oh crap, I need snack money for my lunchbox. So if you don't have a support system or a strong foundation with who wants to support you while you're on this journey, then it's not really going to work, because you can get very distracted in the stress of not working, not getting called out. Living, if you're living out of a hotel, you live paycheck to paycheck. um, I live in an apartment. I love my apartment. I'm barely here, so I don't it's not really decorated all fabulous as I want it to be, but it's mine. It's my personal space, and I don't have to worry about anybody being like, oh well, we need to, you know it's just, make sure you have a support team. It's a major, major, major component of surviving. Um, I am a mom. I am a mother. I have a 6-year-old son, and he stays with his father full time. And can you do this as a mother? Yes, you can. You just have to have that falls under the support factor. We have joint custody, so he's with his dad. Whenever he's not with his dad and I have weeks off at a time, I spend it with him. I have taken him to many places that I would have never been able to take him before I started this job. So in essence, you do miss things like basketball games and soccer games and stuff like that, but you get to show your child places that you wouldn't really necessarily. I don't know everybody's financial situation, but not necessarily you would be able to do all the time if you had a 9 to 5. We've been to home to Oklahoma. We've been to LA. I remember the first time he got on a plane, it was just so enlightening to him. He was scared as heck whenever he was in the jet bridge, but as soon as he got on there, now he's like, when are we getting on a plane? Where are we going next? I want to go to Legoland. I want to do this, that, and the other. So it gives you an outlet to provide your family with great flight benefits. My mom and my stepdad went to Italy and Germany to see my stepsister. So it's great that I'm able to, I love my job, and then I'm able to provide a benefit to the my loved ones to benefit from me flying everywhere. Not only do I get to see a new city, so do they. Another thing is maintain your image. Image is a lot. A lot of people don't think that image is everything, but image is everything. Not necessarily. Nobody wants to be served by somebody who looks dirty or nasty or does not look clean. Their uniform is smelly or wrinkled. They don't have their face up to par, or their hair cut and shaggy and this and the other. You don't have to get on full on glamorous. I do. It's just a part of my, I feel like it was embedded in my DNA. I did it before, so it's not going to stop now. But keep your nails done. If you don't wear fake nails, keep them manicured. Find you a nail tech. My nail tech is amazing. I call her when she's at the shop in between the times I'm at work and not at work. Go get my nails done. I maintain my nails for $15. If you don't want to maintain acrylic nails, you can do a manicure, and I think they charge like 10. So it's easy to maintain your image very affordably. I, if you watch any of my makeup videos, I mostly wear affordable cosmetics or drugstore brand cosmetics. Some of the things I do wear are high end, but I prefer to travel with drugstore cosmetics because if I lose them, I can replace them. But it's easy to put on a tinted moisturizer, some blush, a lip gloss, and some mascara and still look as beautiful as a woman in a magazine. Just take care of yourself. It's very simple to do that. Maintain your hair, do that. You don't want to be looked at as oh, they hired her, or you don't want to be called in for an image check and then they're like, we got to send you home because you don't look up to par. Like, that would be one of the most embarrassing things I think I'd have to deal with. Um, I would never want to be seen as the person who looks frumpy or not put together or this that, and the other. Um, get used to, if you're on reserve, which I am, I'm on straight reserve. That's all I do. The only time I'm pre-assigned is maybe the day before or if I pick up. So get used to not knowing where you're going. Be optimistic. Be I remember one day I was like, Lord, please send me somewhere warm because it had just started getting cold. And I ended up going to Hawaii the next day. Just stay optimistic, stay focused on the goal you have in mind. Like, my goal is to maintain my career as a flight attendant, then get into image and help young women and men that come in our career and maintain their professional, flawless, comfortable image for themselves. So there's a lot of things that you can do just besides being a flight attendant. Um, Another thing is not to worry about everybody else. You will probably never fly with the same people until you maintain a line. I have flown with a few people more than once, and once is when we picked the trip up together, and then the other we just happened to be on call at the same time. So, but it's very rare that you will work with the same people more than once. So, if someone bugs you or does anything or does says anything that may offend you, have it fall off your back, brush it off your shoulders. Like, it's just, You may not see that person ever again. You may not see that person for 5 years. You may not even see them ever because they may retire. You just never know. Uh, that is just one thing. You'll work with all different types of personalities, from fun to very strict and professional to very quiet and meek. You just never know the type of people you're going to work with. So always stay optimistic and open to the people that you work with, and not only the people you work with, the passengers. You only see these people. I'm based where there's no international. The longest flight I can be on with a passenger is 7 hours, and that's to Hawaii. And I may never see them again, ever, ever, ever. I've only seen a passenger multiple times because he caught a flight to where I was going, and then he caught that same flight back to where I was going back to maintain his mile status. That's the only reason why I saw him twice. And it is easy to get discouraged or upset because of a passenger having an attitude, but don't do it. Don't let them hinder you doing a great job because of their attitude, or a gate agent's attitude, or TSA's attitude. Anybody, don't let anything deter you from giving a positive experience to the passengers, because in all reality, as much as people say, oh, flight attendants or waitresses on a plane. No, we're not. There's so much more we have to maintain. We have to maintain our image, so we have to be models. We have to maintain health, so we have to be just in the gym. We have to maintain security, so we have to be police officers of the airplane. You have to maintain your health, so we have to be nurse practitioners on the plane. It's a lot of stuff you have to do. Stay healthy. Stay healthy. Stay healthy. Stay healthy. I've been sick once, and that is because I ate something bad on a trip. So watch what you eat on a trip. But how I stay healthy, I take a 1 a day vitamin. I take biotin because the planes are drying on my skin and hair. So I make sure I take a biotin. I take L-lysine for my skin and tissue to make sure it maintains healthiness. And then I also take vitamin C and a B12. I literally stay vitamined up to the T so I can maintain my health, because when you start calling out sick, they don't think you're reliable, i.e., they're not going to schedule you, or you can lose your job. So just stay healthy. Yeah, there's occasions you may get sick and you may need to take the day off, but try to maintain a healthy standard of life. I hate water. I genuinely hate drinking plain water, but I know that is what helps me stay healthy. So I always try to drink a whole bottle of water each leg of my flight to stay hydrated, healthy, and I've actually lost weight. So just stay healthy. Another thing I recommend is have friends, whether they're classmates, whether you meet people here, always have friends. I just did my first holiday, and I would have been alone if it wasn't for my friend from training. Like, we spent the day together. We went to Boston Market and had turkey dinner, and then we looked at coupons. Then we went shopping, and if it wasn't you, you deal with stuff like that. You deal with being on call for holidays and you not go nowhere, and so you're not with your family, but at least you're with your extended family. Um, Someone asked me about how do I maintain my tattoos. Um, my tattoos are nowhere where they can be seen in uniform. So, but I do have a friend who has a tattoo on her wrist. So she has a thicker watch band, or she wears long sleeves. It's just sometimes you have to sacrifice. If you truly want it, you have to sacrifice. And you do that. I'm a mom, and I sacrifice going to my son's first practice day because I'm on call. So it's just, but the thing is, I sacrificed that, but I got 2 tickets to take him to Universal Studios for $79 for a whole year for 3 visits. So, and we fly for free. It's just, what are you willing to sacrifice to do a great job? What are you willing to do to have this career. Another thing is always maintain positive communication with your supervisor in scheduling. Do not ever piss scheduling off. Don't do it. Don't do it. You'll be working red eyes the entire time you're on reserve. They'll schedule your bad preference, a preference you want. You'll have low fly time. Low fly time means no per diem. Don't do it. Don't piss scheduling off. So it's just say if even if they schedule you something or they mess up, we are all human. We all mess up. Just be like, hey, is this correct? Well, part of this, that, and the other. Is this correct? Yes or no? No. Okay. Well, what can we do to rectify the situation and go to have a positive experience? Don't be like, no, this ain't correct and this and the other, blah blah blah. I'm not doing it. I've had a situation where they scheduled me something I wasn't legal for, and all I did was be like, "Hey, I'm not legal for this, and what can we do to rectify it?" I was like, "You can either put me on another trip." What they ended up doing was releasing me because they messed up. They're like, "Oh, we apologize. No, you're not legal to do this trip, so we apologize." And they said, "Let me go home." And I hopped on a flight, went home to see my family. It's just all how you maintain yourself. Um, Another thing is meet flight attendants from other airlines, see how they operate, to see their little tricks and trades and this, that, and the other. Um, I hate opening minis. I utterly hate it because it tears up my hands. I have I got a huge blister and it opened up really bad while I was working first class because I didn't know how to not open minis without using my hand, and it tearing up my skin. And I asked in a group which was full of different flight attendants from different airlines, and they were like, "Well, you can use a this, or you can do this, or this, that, and other," or they're giving me all types of hints and tricks. So just don't be afraid to ask any flight attendant from any airline what are their tips and tricks to survive on the plane. My last thing is have fun, enjoy it, love it, because you'll look up and be like, man, I've been to, I traveled before. My dad played ball overseas, so I've been overseas before. I've lived overseas, but I've been to almost every state in the country in the course of 7 months. And I'm proud of myself because that's a major accomplishment. And there are days that I'm tired and don't want to do it, but I love my job. I don't roll over thinking, should I look for a new job? I love it. You have to have a passion for it. And if you have any questions, comments, or if you want to discuss it privately, just send me your email in the comment section. I'll be glad to email you back anything that you need to know. Um, just let me know, and I'll be more than happy to help you on your journey to become a flight attendant. And love you guys. Thank you so much for watching and stay fly. Bye.